Warning. The following podcast features terrible jokes, usually about board games. Like those jokes your dad tells that make you groan. Yeah, those kind of jokes. Accordingly, Boards and Swords and the producers must insist that no one attempt to recreate any joke performed on this podcast.
Watch very closely now. 3, 2, 1. Bzow! Check that out.
We want the fun. Gotta have that fun.
Is it okay if it's okay if like when the bread touches the fries?
Do I really want to just stand still and cast a lightning bolt? No, I want to avoid you and shove a lightning bolt at grass.
I just crap my alien pants.
By the way, I just want to let you guys know.
You hate all of us, and we're fired.
I've released poison into the AC system. You all have about 5 minutes left to live.
So much news, like all this stuff to talk about.
No, there's been some stuff, but it was all boring.
You didn't go with C.
Well, you need to go with C.
And our friends, we combined.
You've told that story.
We combined. Have I told it on the podcast?
I'm pretty sure
you
told
have.
it.
At
Well,
least
I'm
twice.
telling it again.
Because I just realized as I was reading this that this game's already been done. They even made a show about it. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! And go watch it.
This is Boards and Swords.
Hello out there, everyone, as I quickly scrambled to open up the show notes because I realized I didn't have them open.
Yeah, I saw that.
One thing the intro is good for. This is Welcome to Boards and Swords. This is a podcast where we have bad jokes, we've got good folks, and we have some tabletop games as well. Tonight it's just me and Philip. I'm one of your hosts. My name's Chris Renshaw. That's my partner in crime, Mr. Philip Herbig.
What's going on, everybody? We okay. If we're gonna be partners in crime, we gotta have like we need crime names.
I'm the notorious CLR.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know. I'm just.
No, you got what? Because what is?
I'll wear cowboy boots, and we could be the Boots and Ginger.
Huh? Allegedly.
Yeah, and everything we do will be allegedly did it.
Allegedly. Lime away and the beard.
Lime away. Nice. I like it. So, yeah, somebody had mentioned, we don't have no Corey, no Jimmy tonight. I try and use those mostly when we have a game we've played. I don't want to be like, hey, you guys coming this week?
Corey and Jimmy are they're the special Final Fantasy summon.
Yeah.
In case of podcast emergency, break glass.
Yeah. But it's okay because we have a lot to talk about. And by we, I mean I have a lot to talk about because it turns out, we had that like month where we took an episode off.
Yep.
So we didn't have like a show for a month. And then we had them on and I hadn't talked about the stuff. And then I was going back through because, if you watch the stream live or you watch the video, I throw up the pictures up here, which I do also. The most reason I do that is to remind me what to talk about. And as I'm going through my pictures to put up there, I'm like, oh yeah, that happened and that happened.
Yeah.
And so, just overflow from last time. I was like, I started going through the news and it was like, I'm going to have like the opposite problem of last week. It was going to be like no news. And then I got down towards the bottom and suddenly there was like 7 stories I wanted to talk about. A couple because they were just hilarious to me, and like 1 or 2 that were just like, I feel like I need to talk about this just as a proper evangelist or a proper what's the word? Journalist.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. So hopefully everyone's doing good. So with that, we will get to some news as soon as I figure out which button on here. There we go. All right. So, first of all, no joke here other than Philip's new favorite app is here to play on the toilet.
I am not going to get any work done. Ever.
So, Munchkin Goes Mobile, as I remember to click the screen over. Journalistic commentary. There you go. That's smarty words. Munchkin Goes Mobile, popular card game now available on iOS and Android. The highly popular card game is now available on iOS and Android platforms. Oh my God. Serious? I hate this. No, go away. Digital version of the game has been in early access on Steam. Oh, no. It's been in early access. It's now finally here.
Oh, okay.
The
But the mobile
Steam-
version is out for
The Steam version was early access. Now it's finally out. The game was developed by Direwolf Digital. Those are the same people that did like the Root game.
Okay.
They also make the game Clank, the board game Clank. Features the same gameplay as the original Steam edition with modifications to make it more user-friendly on mobile devices. Did you ever play that? They made that like Munchkin Diablo style game. Did you ever play that? It was like Munchkin Dungeons or something, or I forget what it was called. There was another video game they made where it was like Munchkin characters, but think like Castle Crashers meets Diablo.
This is news to me.
I wanted to try it, but I never got around. It was one of those like, I want to pull the plug. I want to pull the trigger on this, but then if I've spent money on a game that could be bad, you know. Yeah, like I know it's on like Switch, and that's one place I probably would have bought it, but I think it's also on Steam. I have to look it up. I'll have to look it up afterwards. Maybe I'll look it up in the after show. But yeah, so there you go. So that game's now out. Now I wonder if they're gonna make it just the classic game, or if they're gonna like have you could buy the skins. Yeah. $2 I can skin this superheroes, or I can make this in space and whatnot.
Munchkin Conan.
There's like a whole new Conan you could just add on.
Yeah.
In fact, it'd be funny if you could add them on. Well, I guess that's how you do it. You don't skin it. You just have them as add-ons, and then you can open it up and choose, okay, these are all the games I want to put in my game. That would be how I would do it. I don't know if that's what their plan is. But next up, you're going to want to hunt down this next expansion. So everyone is probably familiar with the fact that I love the game Vampire Masquerade Rivals. Corey and Jimmy and I have talked about it a bunch. There is the other part of the World of Darkness that's called Hunter the Reckoning, which is all about like Hunter the Reckoning is basically like Supernatural, the RPG, where you play as like a band of hunters that go around and try and kill supernatural stuff. Okay. Well, now they're bringing in the hunt, so they're doing a crossover expansion basically, where it's Vampire the Masquerade and Hunter the Reckoning in the expansion, The Hunters and the Hunted, standalone expansion. So you can technically just buy this box. It's going to retail for $60. So it's probably going to be full size like the other box that they have. You know, think like your Marvel Champion size or whatever.
Makes sense.
And it's going to have 2 hunter cells called Faithful, Inquisitive. There's like what type of hunter are you?
Okay.
Like, you know, like Faithful would be like the more like church-driven ones.
Gotcha.
And then there's 2 vampire clans, the Ministry and the Caitiff as playable factions. And then it gives you like the city deck, the tokens, and everything you need to get playing. I'm excited about this because I don't know a whole lot about Vampire, but it seemed like they were running out of clans probably, just as they've been making so many. I'm like, they've done all the major clans. They've been doing a lot of like the minor stuff or the minor clans, and I was like, eventually are we gonna have to like circle around and like just making new cards for the same clans? I mean, you could totally do that. So yeah, this game is still one of my favorite thing. It's one of my favorite of those like constructed deck games that plays the best at like 3 to 4 players versus 2 players.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely I will be checking this one out for sure. I got like 4 decks that I need to play out of the the stuff to play. Corey and Jimmy and I were like, we need to just have like a day, because the problem is it's usually like months in between when we play. So it's like we have to relearn the game again. So it's like we'd like to play multiple games where we're not having to relearn the game in between each game.
Yeah.
All right. What do you do when your wife's bare feet get injured while playing sports? Use soccer.
Bwah, bwah, bwah.
By the way, it's hard to have the sock her as the pun and have it not be about
Domestic violence.
a domestic violence piece. So this is another one of those. I saw this and went, huh? Like we're too early. We're too early for April Fool's jokes. Catan's getting a football. And by the way, when you see football themed, and we're not talking American football. We're talking football. They're getting a soccer themed board game expansion. And I was like, how does that work? So here, Catan Soccer Fever is an upcoming board game expansion themed around the beautiful game. Despite the core tabletop, never mind. That's all like blah 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 blah. The new expansion will see players engaging in a set of football matches taking place across the island. Every time you construct, so you've played Catan. Every time that you construct a settlement or city, like the meeple things, not the roads. Yeah. Every time you do that, the group compete in a heavily abridged game of football. So it's just, you're playing Catan, then you're playing football. Then you're back to playing Catan, and then you're back to playing football. But you flick a spherical token, which I'm assuming that's what these down here in the bottom are. Yeah. Should the scoring player land with into the goal colored side up, they have scored a goal. Whichever player has the most goals at the end of the match will then get benefits that you then use within the wider game.
Okay.
So does
That's
it?
Neat.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like people were talking about like how can we make extra money with our games. It's doing quirky stuff like this.
It is, but I'm interested in the life-size Catan at Gen Con now.
Oh, you know what? That's how they sell this. Gen Con, they do a full-up version, and then they have the table sitting next to it that's stacked with these boxes. That is exactly how you sell a crap ton of these. You have like a tiny Catan board and then like a life-size soccer version, complete with like a blow-up ball that's painted just like that. Or you could, you know what you could even do? You could even do balloon animals, in the shape of and like stick like cardboard in between, or something to that regard. And then there you go.
Who makes Catan?
Asmodee. Now.
Asmodee. I just you know, a small fee. It's a great idea. I'm hoping y'all heard it here first.
Yeah. The one person's like, "Hey, you seen this? You seen this?"
Man, if you done seen it.
No. I'm thinking of. I was thinking of John Mulley. It's a Gritsism, motherfucker.
It's in my back pocket. Which back pocket? Left cheek.
Oh, we're talking about two different things now.
We are.
So, all right. Next up, there's no way that this CMON Kickstarter won't fund. And that is, we have the next Zombicide. White Death.
White Death.
Yeah, we have Black Plague. We have White Death.
Okay.
Zombicide White Death is coming to Kickstarter. It is a new line. So this is going back to the Black Plague theme. So they did like they've been doing like the last Zombicide I think was
Green Horde.
No.
Oh.
It was Marvel Zombies.
Okay.
And that one's coming out now. Before that, it was the Undead, the Western one.
Gotcha.
And then they did like the second edition, which is like modern day. And then before that was like Green Horde and stuff. So they're going back now to the medieval times. And so they had Black Plague, which I own and fully painted. Don't have Green Horde. And now they're doing White Death. Focuses on a.
I'm just imagining the subtitles on on like the TV version of Zombicide Western, and you'd be like, in Western accent.
Focuses on a faraway land within their fantasy realm where humanoid animal hybrid species exist. They, of course, are looking to survive an onslaught of zombie walkers by defending their medieval ramparts from an invasion. So it's basically Zombicide, but in the snow. And looks like there's humanoid animal hybrid species.
Humanoid animal.
So
chimeras. The first one of you that puts up Full Metal Alchemist, I'm coming to your house.
Full Metal Alchemist.
That episode is traumatizing.
So the new game offers up medieval flavor mechanics like freeze, which lets the survivors temporarily stop the movement of zombies And the ability to dump cauldrons of tar on the horde. I love it. I like that. Hoser 40K in the chat says, I don't own a single Zombicide game. Whose fault is that? I mean, they say what you will about Simon's marketing, and they just churn these games out, but they are fun. Do I play them? No. I want to play them. I want to play them.
What was that one I bought everything of?
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about the pirate ship thingy?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that? Oh, I can't remember what it was. Some Rum and Bones.
Rum and Bones. Yep.
Rum and Bones. I remember there was an and.
Like someone I bought everything of.
Yeah. We still haven't played it.
Still haven't played it.
And then you still have all those Kickstarter extras from Blood Rage.
Yep. I still have all those. I need to sell those suckers.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody's still wanting them. I bet you could. Like $100, you get all the original exclusives.
Let's find out.
Oh, they actually do have some of the images here. Ah, look at that. Dragomir. And then there's the zombies, of course. Sarnai. Oh, so this is one thing different. So this puts more fantasy into it, where you like we were saying the humanoid, like they got like this is some fox human. Like the previous games, they were all humanoid, or they were human survivors.
Gotcha.
But now you can have like, Tiger Man survivors.
Okay.
So it's funny. I'm writing up a rule set for playing Zombicide in 40K, like with 40K minis.
Oh, nice.
To that style of game where it's like everyone picks like one of their named characters.
Okay.
And like they fight like an onslaught of like Necrons or like Tyranids or something instead.
All right, I'm digging it.
All right. Speaking of Games Workshop, is the leader of the crime family in hell called the Dante? That one took a minute. I was like, I got to make a Dante's Infernal joke here. So Games Workshop unveiled a new Commander Dante miniature for Blood Angels. I don't know anything about Blood Angels, but apparently this is like, since their Primarch's dead, this is like the main chapter master dude.
Okay.
That's not the story here per se. It is what, if you look in your notes, that's what is linked there, because I couldn't find a good source on this.
Gotcha.
So, and I mean, it's a beautiful figure. So,
Oh, yeah.
he has not been, so because a lot of like, they're called the Firstborn, the non-Primaris
Gotcha.
Marines. But in the 40K lore, there is a process after they've started generating out the Primaris Marines. They came up with the Rubicon Primaris to kind of like evolve Firstborn Marines into Primaris Marines, because Primaris Marines have like a couple of extra organs and they're tough. They're bigger and beefier and that sort of thing. So this is now the Primaris version of the Chapter Master.
Gotcha.
I think he's the Chapter Master. However, the story here is, if you believe the scuttlebutt online, this figure was not originally released by Games Workshop.
Oh.
Some random painter on the internet posts up and goes, "Oh, hey, look at this new figure that I painted up." The way the story goes is that Games Workshop screwed up an online order and shipped him this new figure instead of what they actually, this new figure that hadn't been teased, instead of what they actually ordered.
Oh.
That's the way it goes. And then like quickly later that day, they're like, oh, look at this new figure that we're going to do. I don't know how much I believe that, because first of all, the person that got sent to was like an incredibly well done painter.
Okay.
So it's like, what's the odds of that happening? Of like pristine to show off this brand new figure?
Yeah.
But, and also you make more headway being like, oh no, we accidentally sent someone the wrong, than like just putting out a
press release.
A press release. So I just thought that situation was hilarious. And it bared worth talking about.
Yeah.
By the way, Adepticon is this coming weekend. It's the largest miniatures tournament / convention in the U.S. So you bet your bottom britches Next episode is going to have a lot of minis talk, especially in the news. There are rumors abound. In fact, it makes very relative sense that not Nova. Nova.
I realized you asked me about that. I hadn't looked at when it actually was.
Oh, right. But they've been dropping hints that a 10th edition of 40K might be announced at Adepticon. There is a Battletech Kickstarter that debuts at the start of Adepticon. They're doing a big release thing for. So lots of goodies will be there to talk next time. But we're not done yet. We got some decent stuff left to talk about. All right. When Bilbo outsmarted Gollum for the ring, did it become his one ring? Nope, that's not that. There we go. Yeah, Magic the Gathering shares in-depth first look at the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth set, and there's a bunch of good, they've got teases for all the cards. Look in the show notes, and you can see it here. And they've even got, commander decks. So, I don't want to go buy whatever. You can just buy the commander deck, and it's got all the... This is the way they did 40K, was the special commander decks. However, the most exciting feature of the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth is the inclusion of a promo card for the One Ring itself. So the One Ring is in the set. It's a regular card. You get it. It's probably like a whatever I forgot what the ultra rares are called. Mythic rare. Whatever. However, that's the normal version of the card. If you see down here, they've made several alternate art versions of it, including the one of one. There is only one of this card. This is the Wonka's Golden Ticket of board gaming.
Yeah.
So there's only one of these cards, and it's found in the collector's boosters. It's serialized. It's got an exclusive artwork that's not in anything else. And only one copy of it exists.
Yep.
And all of Magic. Until somebody finds out that someone accidentally hit print a second time.
Yeah, that's
So, yeah, they've got promo versions that you can get. Like, if you get the gift bundle, you're guaranteed to get this bundle art promo version. So, no need to go scrambling for various...
What does it say? Gift bundle for the one of one?
Because the gift bundle includes collector's packs.
Okay.
So it might be, because they're in collector's packs,
may be found.
It may be found in there. That's one of the ways you can get it, because it's going to be in one of those collector's packs, the booster packs somewhere. Gotcha. The collector's boosters are the ones that give you more rares, unlike the draft boosters.
Gotcha.
So you can't get this in draft boosters. You can't get this in the bundles. You can only get it in the English collector's boosters. You can't get it in even other languages.
Even though it's written in...
Well, that's the thing. It's so yeah, it's got the I think it's only in the English ones, but I think it's written in Elvish.
The Black Elvish.
Yeah.
Dark Elvish? Black Elvish?
I think it's just Elvish.
Did they have an actual... I thought I just read it on the thing there. The precious traditional Black Speech.
Oh,
the
okay.
Black Speech of Sauron.
Tengwar letter forms.
Single English language collector booster.
Yep.
If you find that card, shut your mouth.
No.
Don't tell anybody.
No, if you find that card, go on eBay, because I think I saw somebody was talking about there's already hundreds of people asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars for it.
It's gonna be that one opening of Big Bang Theory, where they're playing their legally distinct.
Oh yeah, it's I have the Ring of Azeroth or the Sword of Azeroth. What's he doing? He's selling it.
What idiot is gonna spend? I have a sword.
I am the Sword Master. All right, last one. Where does the Planeswalker Chandra put her microwave burritos? In her Hot Pockets.
Oh,
Hot Pocket. Caliente Pocket. So Hot Pockets is doing a Magic promotion?
yeah.
Oh, is this already in stores?
It's already in stores. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Wizards of the Coast Magic the Gathering brand has teamed up with Nestle's Hot Pockets to offer unlockable in-game rewards on MTG Arena. So there'll be 8 products featuring Planeswalkers Gideon, Jace, Chandra, and Vivian that will allow hungry players to receive redemption codes after uploading a receipt of purchase. The codes unlock MTG Arena online rewards such as a pre-constructed deck, Planeswalker avatar, XP, and more. I haven't been this excited over a approved food product since Danny Phantom was on Kid Cuisine. Oh, man. Weird collab, but I can't wait to buy it once I have money. So, yeah. This is one of those anytime people get up, like, if hardcore board gamers, like, I can't believe everyone pays so much attention to Magic. This is why. Because it's such a big enough property that you can get commercial partnerships with anything. Like, that's because that's how much it make. Like, the whole industry is riding on the back of Magic the Gathering. Like, it is the spine that holds up everything. One card to rule them all, one card to find them, one card to bring them all in the darkness by them.
Yeah, I accidentally threw away my receipt.
Oh, well, you don't play MTG Arena, so
I don't play it, but I think I have it.
Yeah.
In one of my libraries.
Yeah. No. That's the Arena of the Planeswalkers, because I think we played it one.
MTG Arena.
Okay.
In one of my libraries, I have
Gotcha.
MTG
It's available on
Arena.
mobile now.
Yeah.
So you can play it on the toilet.
Have it on, getting no.
That's like I've played that recently. It's nice, especially like you could do like the drafts.
Okay.
And the way they do it is like the draft. It's I forgot how they do it, but they like. I think they draft you among a group of people, but like everyone already pre-selects things. So like, because it's not like a real-time draft where it's like, okay, I got to sit and wait.
I wait for the card to roll. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, well, he picked card X out of this pack. The next person that we assign to this group, they're going to get, these cards. And then for the card pack coming in, we're going to grab, I don't know. It didn't seem like that, and I don't remember. And then once you've made your deck, they match you up with just whoever's online at the moment.
Okay.
And then you play until you lose 3 times. And the more you win, the more prizes you end up getting. And you don't have to pay for it. Like, you get a couple of tickets to start off with, then you have to, like, pay to get more. Or you can use, like, their in-game currency stuff. Okay, so, it's nice. If you're going to play, if you like Magic, but you don't want to go, like, balls to the walls, jumping into the fray, buying a bunch of cards, and littering your house with stuff, or you just can't make it to a store, or you don't want to play with the random people in the store, it's a decent way of playing. All right, and that's our news. So, Philip,
please.
Why should people back our Patreon?
I mean, what else are you gonna spend your money on, guys? Are you gonna like, you could spend your money on, you could get that large drink with your lunch all the time, okay? Or you could just get the medium drink. It's free refills anyway, guys, okay? You get the medium drink, and then you've got a little bit of money to back us, all right? And then we can put out quality content. You get access to the bonus bits, okay? Are we still doing the dice?
Yeah, I just haven't mailed them out. They're here.
Excuse me.
They have already separated them out into packs. I just been waiting to ship them.
See, you get a die. It's got our logo on it. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of them might be weighted, so we don't let your DM know you're playing.
And we won't tell you which way they're weighted.
That's right. We're not going to.
They could be weighted badly too.
2s all
and
the time.
I'm still offering, if we get it, we're past Valentine's Day, but still, if we can
there's no romantic date with Chris this year.
But you can get the next best thing, which is the $50 incentive, which is Valentine's Day module, Love Mutants of Castle Heartache, I'll be getting an actual play together once we hit $50 because apparently goals are going away on Patreon.
Really?
So like the tiered goals, it's like, oh, when we hit $200 a month, whatever. I guess they say it's like it's not very beneficial to creators. Like so many of them aren't hitting them or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I guess because everyone doesn't care. They're just like, what am I getting out of this?
Exactly.
Well, what you're getting out of this is dice. Only if you pay $5 though. But if you just have $1, you're getting extra content. You're getting extra audio content. So you're getting something pretty much every week. And you'll be getting that actual play if we get to $50. That's what you're actually getting. And while you were talking, I was able to pull this up. Nope. Why is it? There it goes.
There we go. That's great.
Munchkin Quacked Quest. This is the game I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's no longer available on Steam Store.
Oh, it isn't?
No.
Oh. Maybe they got rid of it when the Munchkin game came out because they didn't want it to like compete.
Okay.
Yeah, but it just gave me very like Diablo / Castle Crasher type vibes, but like with the Munchkin universe.
No, I'm just looking at the all reviews, mostly negative.
Oh yeah, or that could have been it.
Yeah.
That could have been why it got removed.
I mean, that could be a thing too.
Yeah.
That reminds me of mostly negative reviews when all the lockdowns like really went in hard across the world.
Yeah.
Over in China. Yeah, I think it was over in China. There was an app for the kids to do their homework on.
Oh, I heard about this.
All the kids across the country one-starred the hell out of that app.
Because it got removed. Then it got removed from the store. I remembered this. I remember that story. That's the old days of 2020.
Oh, that's
the early days.
That's such good. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, yep, auto removing of 1-star apps. Oops, the kids need that to do their schoolwork. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So now that we're done with news, we have a lot of things to talk about here.
A lot of things to talk about.
Yeah. Before I even go into the PowerPoint pictures here, I have to put the mic back in because I have some things to show. I need the hands. I got some things to show. In fact, I have so much stuff that I decided I bought this. I bought this app so that I can use my phone. Because, like every time we're like, I can't see it on the camera. Okay, so we have to take a picture of it and throw it up here. That was like kind of the point of that. Well, now I've got this. And I've got the phone cam so you can see what it's like from our point of view here. So in case you're wondering what the rest of the studio looked like. Yeah. Yeah. See what we see. To kind of get the gauge we see. Okay, that's wild. What? It's because it's that whole HDI software that I use for like capture. They have an app. It was like $20 though, but I was like, it'd be really helpful. Yeah. So, anyways, this is what I wanted to show off. I got sent to us from Mike Hargis. And it is the coolest thing ever. So it's called Boards and Swords, but like with instead of and. It looks like it's just some local. It's got that local comic shop, like random guy got this. Okay, maybe that's. There we go. Sorry, I thought I told it not to grab the audio, but I must have unclicked that when I set it back up.
Oh.
So, so Mike Hargis found this, I guess, at his local shop and sent it here. I'm guessing it's some local guy. It's even signed. But cool. It's like, I guess, a bunch of samurai that are also surfers. So thus the Boards and Swords.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he found this and sent it to me, and now I got to find like a place. I got to frame it and put it up here somewhere.
Gotta read it.
What's signed though? I don't want to open it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Rabid Comics. It's a #1 edition, Philip.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a print on the back that's signed.
Okay, that is awesome.
So, all right, and then
we gotta we'll find you a clean room. Get an X-Acto knife and cut the tape very gingerly. Wear gloves.
So then I got these. I'm going to show these off real quick.
Did I say fruit punch?
No, Fan Roll.
Oh, Fan Roll. I was like, what?
Yeah. So Fan Roll sent these to me. And then I'm going to... wrong one. I'm going to go back here so I can set the phone down for a minute so I can open them. So Fanroll sent these to me. These are their packages. They're called Misfit Dice.
All right.
And I was like, this is such a weird thing. Like, it's basically, they just, imagine the Chessex bin that's just like the random, it's just they took
Buy
a scoop of that.
Die.
Yeah. And it's basically just packages of that. And I was like, who's going to buy? But then I don't know why it didn't hit me until they showed up for me to try here. They're booster packs of dice.
Okay.
It's booster packs, but filled with dice. And they have, looks like 3 different varieties. They have their mystery pack, which is just their normal resin dice. So you want to open up that one?
I'll open that one up.
And then they've got 2 other kinds. They've got their metal dice, because Fanroll is Fanroll by Metallic Dice Games. So I guess it's because they didn't want to be Metallic Dice Games if they're making non-metallic dice. I'm guessing, maybe. But so they've got their metal pack, and then they've got a mini pack. And when I say mini...
I heard it sound like...
Yeah, this is like beads. It's so funny because I wanted to roll up in battle. So you hear me talking about playing BattleTech, and I wanted to roll up with like one of these mini dice and then one of the giant metal ones, because you use 2d6.
Okay, it's a full set.
Here, you can throw it. You can put them up here.
Yeah.
All right. Nope, not that one. This one. There we go. So yeah, there's your standard dice. So it's all different.
Yeah.
It's really cool actually. Like, I think this one's my favorite because it's got like little air, like either beads or air bubbles inside.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, can you see that?
I didn't actually look inside. Yeah.
Yeah, all the dice look like they have something inside.
Oh, yeah, it's got little beads inside of it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. And then you've got, so here's your standard die, and then you have the mini die. Like, look at this tiny little thing. It's a tiny little die. And then the D20, I just want to roll up and be like,
Yeah.
of course I rolled a 1.
Nope.
And then you got the metal dice over here, which these things are chonkers, which is funny because like this one right here, this one doesn't look like, until you pick it up, it just looks like a normal die.
It looks like a, yeah, I'm just like, there it is.
And then,
it's
you
got
just
the-
like pick it up and you're like, oh my God. But yeah, like all the standard metal die.
And I was looking, did they... Oh, there's only 1d6 in that pack.
Oh, I thought there were 2.
Okay. I was like, they're full sets except for the minis.
Yeah, the minis just looks like, well, the minis looks like they gave you it's still a full set.
Yeah. You've got 2d20s.
Yeah, well, it's a full set and then some.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you get a full set and then a couple, I mean, because it's smaller, I guess, to give you your money's worth.
Yeah.
So what I didn't do is I didn't look up how much these are.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you want to see mess with some of the other metal ones while I look that up real quick?
Just random.
All right, let's pull up here. Where is it? I should have had this prep ahead of time. Ah, here we go. Yeah. So, yeah. Looks like it's $10 for the mini die, and then there's $10 for the mystery, the regular size resin, and then $25 for the pack of the metal, which makes sense. It's metal die. So $25 for a pack of metal dice.
Yeah, I mean, what were our... I mean, obviously they were free to us, but what did the EC dice roller stuff retail at?
I want to say it was like 35. So yeah, so that's I just got these in for so I'm assuming like the idea would be is that your local store would buy a bunch of these and just have them out like by the register. I I see these as cool stocking stuffers, especially the mini. Like, that's just adorable. I see those as neat stocking stuffers. It could be just like, oh, if you need to. I remember back in the day where like you're trying to fill out your miniature market or your cool stuff order. And, like, I need something to get me over $100 to get the free shipping. And if you have that like at a local store, if you get like a bonus, if you get like our local store, the Third Eye games and hobbies and comics, they do the thing where it's like or it used to. I think they changed it actually.
Oh, the belly.
The belly.
Rewards?
They don't use
Yeah.
belly anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they use something else.
Okay.
Because I think now it's just whatever they take it. They give you points no matter what you buy.
Okay.
But it used to be, it was like every $20 you got something. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, that would be a way to do that. But I mean, Rusted Beetle was right. I want matching sets, and I mean they have it. They even list it on the website as factory second dice.
Yep.
This is like, we have a whole bunch of dice that just we made extras of. What are we gonna do with them?
Dump them in a bin.
Dump them in a bin, separate them out. I think of all of these though, the mini are my
The
favorites.
mini are the best.
Yeah, I think like if I were to buy myself some, but like I would almost want to buy a bunch of these and make like jewelry out of it, like a bracelet or something out of dice. Because that's what when I pulled these out at the game store and was showing people, they were like, "Is that beads?"
Yeah. D20 cufflinks.
Yeah. So, all right. Now I gotta.
See, now I want like everything
What?
in mini dice. We need
You need mini Star Wars
we need
dice?
mini Fantasy Flight die. Yeah, that's what we
I
need.
don't think that's gonna happen.
That'd be so awesome.
I don't think that's gonna happen. There we go. So I have a lot to talk about here. For like a lot of things have happened.
These guys are gold.
Yes. So first off, I remember I built the big Magnus that I'm painting like Illidan. These are his other minions that come in that set.
Okay.
The Thousand Suns, the Magnus's followers, and they're very famous, at least in 40K, because they're particularly difficult to paint because they are like this like tealish blue with gold trim.
Okay.
So, but also their Horus Heresy versions, they were red and gold, and then they changed their armor post Heresy or whatnot. So I wanted to paint them up in their Heresy form because A, I think it looks cooler, and B, I kind of wanted to use some of these guys in Heresy as well.
Okay.
And I thought, and because I also liked the way that they had a paint guide for when Heresy came out, of like, oh, here's how you paint your Thousand Suns. And the guide that they did, it was really easy to do.
Okay.
And so I followed it, so you start off based on black, or primed on black, and then do what's called a zenithal highlight, which is basically you spray at an angle. So you could, if you had a can, you could do it that way. I'm using the airbrush, and I sprayed gold kind of at an angle, so a lot of the like shadows and recesses are still black.
Okay.
So that's where you get that effect. And the reason I did all this is we were having a painting competition where you could bring in a model and it could be primed and zenithal. So I wanted to like test things out and kind of get things going. So then if I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is my test model. This is one of the sorcerers. So I primed it up. I got it. And this is where I primed it gold and then took one of the red contrast paints because it's thinner and then use that to fill in all the red. The problem is that this took forever to do. Like the red alone took a while, and then I kept adding on like extra things. Like on the video, you can see I've got flames going in this guy's got flames that I painted blue with some white highlights on and stuff.
All right.
It was just a lot to paint in just like the 2 to 3 hours that we had. So I was like, okay, well, this is one of the sorcerer special characters.
Did you have 3 hours?
Yeah.
We had an hour at CMON.
Well, because that's called speed painting.
Oh, that was speed paint. Okay.
Yeah.
This was just make
Yeah.
it look good.
Yeah,
Make it
this is
fast,
just
okay.
that was speed, and we called it speed painting first, and people were like, because it was more of bring your stuff to 40K night, and just in our 40K block you paint, and everyone's like, this isn't really speed painting. So we're like, okay, it's a painting competition.
There we go.
So this is what I actually ended up painting.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I ended up painting up one of the rubric marines. So the way that these guys are is unlike the sorcerers who are still people. The Thousand Sons have this thing where they're all flawed, and because they were so psychic, their bodies kept wanting to like devolve into this. They called it the flesh change and kind of like break down or whatever, because their mental powers were so vast that their physical forms kept breaking down.
Okay.
And they kept trying to, and Magnus found a way to keep it, but involved a pact with one of the chaos gods, and the bill came due pretty much around when the heresy started.
Gotcha.
So they were one of the guys tried to find another way to do it, and he cast what this thing it was called the rubric. And when the rubric was cast, it affected all the Thousand Sons. It got rid of the flesh change in a way. All the psychers, their powers got shot through the roof, and they became ultra powerful.
Okay.
Anyone who wasn't a psycher turned to dust.
Oh, wow.
So now all the Rubrici, or the Rubric Marines, are just walking suits of armor, because they're sealed inside their armor, but they're just dust inside their armor.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So like their souls are still in there, but they have no form or whatever. So this is just a generic Rubrici Marine that's got like the special autocannon, and therefore I could do a little bit of detail, but it was still enough to get done in a couple hours. And I made sure it was funny. It was actually a pain in the ass, because I magnetized this so that I could like take this off and get in the chest. Hey, Phil's the other Phil's in the chat.
Hey.
He showed us all up. So I actually got second in the painting competition for this
nice.
mini. And then Phil over here shows up. He had to work, and so he just showed up. 30 minutes does like better than anything I've done. I was like, you suck, Phil. I'm jealous of your skills. So I'm gonna skip that. So I went home. I went home and played games with the family. That was another thing I did. It was one of those. My mom's birthday was coming around, and I told her I'd come visit for her birthday, and that go see them. Don't see them enough. Parents are getting old. That sort of thing. So. Don't even start. He's talking about his dude look like poo.
I was just sitting here
Don't
thinking,
even start.
I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, you were like, oh yeah, he had to work and he showed up late, and then 30 minutes he paints this awesome thing. I'm like, he's gonna pop in the chat and be like, yeah, no, that was actually horrible painting. I hate what I did.
Whatever. So I took a couple games and taught them like always. But for Christmas, I had put my BattleTech stuff in the car, because I was big on BattleTech. I was, really playing it at the time. But I didn't get around to playing it because we were doing a whole bunch of other stuff. But this was pretty much, it was just me and my parents, and it was just like pretty much playing whatever games we wanted to play the entire weekend. So we played Marvel Champions. I flipped through, we played, I taught them Fireball Island, because it's a really neat kind of, you flick little marbles down, and they roll down and potentially knock your guy down the mountain kind of thing. It's real fun. But I was like, my dad loves like war game type things, but like Warhammer and stuff's too complicated for him. Anytime I've tried to like broach him with that stuff, he's just like, eh. And like I've taught him like Blood Bowl and stuff like that, and that's a little bit easier or like not easier complexity, but at least it had like the football theme to get him into this. And I'm like, well, this is big stompy robots, and the way that like it's like, oh, when you hit, like, oh, I hit your arm and I've done damage on your arm and stuff now. I was like, I think he would like this. So I taught him BattleTech, just using like, okay, I got to use my favorite mini. And so he reaches into the box and grabs this guy right here and goes, oh, I'm playing this guy. And I was like, I don't know who, because I'm trying to find the sheet for it. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. Oh, there's the other dice. There was two.
There were two D6s. Okay, so there were two full sets.
Yeah.
There we go.
I was like, I don't know what this guy is. And I'm looking online trying to find out what it is. And my dad is a very aggressive player.
Okay.
you know, I've talked about how, like, when we play games, it's on. So when I finally found what that mini was called, I just started laughing as hard as I could because, like, my dad didn't know what it was called. He just picked it up and said, I want to play this guy. You want to know what that mini's called? The Annihilator. It has 4 Gauss rifles on it.
That'll do it.
Yeah. It also means it's slow as hell. Like, you got your running speed and your walking speed. His running speed is 3 hexes. My running speed is like 6.
Yeah, because you're in a Mad Cat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I found out what it was called. Hoser 40K. I was building up tension in the story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up it's funny, like, you see in the picture here, there's a mountain range, and I'm kind of coming into this little cove, and my dad's on the back side. He's only like 2 to 3 hexes from the edge of the board. That's as far as he walked because he just couldn't get anywhere. And, like, I'm on the other side of the map running basically towards him. But his Gauss rifles, they have like over 20 hexes of range. So he's just standing back there like blasting me away. And first round, he rolls with those things, hits with half of them, immediately annihilates he manages to get lucky and hit twice in the same section.
Okay.
Completely damages the armor and gets all the way through to the internal frame, and which means he gets a critical roll on me. I don't think he got a hit off of the critical roll, but, like, as soon as that happened, he was in. He's like, I'm all in on this. Like, I just did all that damage to you in one shot. Like, let's go. Like, you know, it was like, he was sold. So, I didn't teach him I simplified it some. Like, we didn't do heat. I didn't talk about heat. But even then, like, it still wasn't, like, Battletech can be complicated, but it's really just in the modifiers. And that's where, like, I'd walk him through, like, what the modifiers were. And he was starting to get it by the end a little bit. Or at least he knew what affected the modifiers. Yeah. Like, he knew, if I hide here in this little cove, it gets me partial cover. So, like, you know, then when I'm shooting him, I get a +1 to what I have to roll to hit. That sort of thing. So I've been sending pictures and stuff of, like, me painting various mechs and sending it to him. I was in Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble has exclusive Battletech packs.
Jeez.
That's how big Battletech's getting.
Okay, yeah.
Also, when I was telling this story to a friend at the store, he mentioned it actually made somewhat sense. Because in kind of the rough patch times of Battletech, where your late 90s, early 2000s, when, like, FASA went under and stuff, Barnes & Noble always carried their products.
Okay.
Like, especially, and then once he said that, it clicked with me. I was like, oh, yeah, when they did the Dark Age that had the, like, HeroClix style Battletech minis, that was like, they were like booster pack things. I remember seeing those at, like, Borders and Barnes and Noble and stuff. So as soon as he said that, I was like, yeah. But yeah, so, like, you can get, this is like all the different Battletech stuff you can get at your local Barnes and Noble right now. And during the week after Christmas, it was all like 50% off.
Oh, nice.
In fact, there were some people getting pissed at the Barnes and Noble's 50%. So I took a screenshot. There was like a publisher person getting pissed that they were offering it, and I'm like, shut up. People are playing your games. Not everybody has $70 to throw down on the new hotness.
Exactly.
Shut up. Everyone's already trying to find the best deal. You know, why do you think people buy used games? Because they're so much cheaper, because you can get them for like half off of a new game. But yeah, so yeah, I bought
like,
the exclusive pack.
Like, you already got your money.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
right, because if the Barnes & Noble's bought them, they're unless there's some special deal where they
unless
play.
there is a special deal in there, like, you already got your money for the sale of that
right.
stuff.
Yeah, that money's coming out of their cut, probably. So we had a library day where the store wasn't going to be available for us to do BattleTech because the board gamers basically rented the place out to do a big gala. So we had a trade day where you brought all your old stuff that you didn't want anymore and see if anybody wanted to trade you for it. Problem was everybody brought 40K stuff and none of the 40K players showed up. Or none of the people that only play 40K. Like most of these people that were here were like people that were done with 40K and playing other things. So that was funny. I played in a Highlander tournament. I've been putting videos up on TikTok and stuff. You could see how those games have won. I got 4th out of 12.
Okay,
nice. Not too shabby. And what Highlander means is there can be only one.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like each of your sheets, like your different data sheets, you can only have one of that type of unit. Except for your basic troops, you could bring as many. There were some other caveats, but it was basically kind of like let's do some weird, quirky rules. That was fun. I brought my Grey Knights because I knew the rules to them better, and I didn't want to be fumbling around with the new Black Templars. I painted up some of the mechs.
Okay.
One of the guy, this guy's my favorite back here, or one of my favorites. So this is a Thunderbolt. It was in that Barnes & Noble exclusive.
Oh, gotcha.
It came in a jumping pose.
Oh, nice.
So it has like this smoke here, and all of these guys are pretty much dry brushed. Where I sprayed them black and then just took it got to the point I just reach into my paint box and pull out a random color. And then just like
slapping it on.
Yeah, and then you just get a little bit of paint on the brush. You dip your brush in there, and then you kind of like take your napkin and kind of knock most of it off, so it's just like a dry coating of it on there. And that way you still get some of the black recesses still in there. I painted this guy like the Thor here. Does that look familiar? That's the bad guy in the BattleTech TV show.
Okay.
His mech was the Thor, and it looked like it was red and green.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then they have these clan elementals. They're kind of blurry in the pic. I'll have to show you. I'll have to show you maybe sometime. But I tried to paint. These are the little suits that the other suits that were in the TV show where you opened up like the cockpit, and they were like twice as big as the little characters that went in.
Okay.
It was more of like a suit versus like a mech.
They
were like really light gray with a couple of green accents kind of thing.
I was picturing from the Mech Assault Xbox game.
Oh, okay.
And it was like
I forgot what was in that. I don't know if they did clan stuff in there.
It was like you could hop out of your mech.
Yeah.
And you could pop into this smaller suit.
Yeah, they're called elementals. In fact, there's mechanics in the game for if the elementals get close to you, they can grab onto your mech and you have to like knock them off.
Okay. Yeah.
So I tried to paint them like that, where they were the light gray with the green accent, like the TV show, but they ended up looking more like Master Chiefs. And then down here, it's really blurry, you can't see, but I painted them Power Rangers colors.
I was gonna say, like, you got Power Rangers there, yeah.
So I did that. That was really cool. This is how my Illidan looks now. I finally got the tattoos all done. I love this so much now. The only downside is I had to fish out the sword he had, because I had the staff on there, but I was putting it back in the car after I had been painting at the store, and I was putting it back in the car and grabbing like my 40K stuff, and I had set it on the ground on top of some bins. And it was, you know how we've had some really windy days?
Yep.
Wind caught the wings and knocked it off the thing, and it fell down, snapped the sword off. And I kept trying to fix it, and it just kept making it worse.
Yep.
And so I had kind of given up, and then I remembered that he has 2 weapons. And the weapon, it's not like a weapon I thought they like slid through and maybe I could cut it out. But no, the hand,
is part of the...
Yeah,
okay,
so I was just like, I just snapped the hand off there, took the weapon pieces away, and then repainted up the sword he had. So yeah, the only thing I really have left, because I just finished, or I think I'm done with the base. The base has been a lot of work, because I wanted to do some sort of like mound structure on there, but I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. Like I wanted some sort of like sandy hills type thing. What I ended up doing is I took a bunch of sprues, because I also like reusing those, because you saw I did the sprues for the other guy where it was like the brick pattern.
Yep.
So I took a bunch of sprues, snapped them all up, and then took a lot of like sand, like play sand, no, it wasn't sand. What was it? What did I use? Oh, these like cork is like cork shredded up to look like rocks.
Okay, yeah.
Like the Gale Force 9 sells them. And I dumped them into a little cup and then took like the craft glue and squeezed a bunch in there, kind of like stirred it up, and then kind of let it sit so it kind of formed like mash of like different things, and then laid it out on the board and then just covered it in glue and dumped a bunch of sand on it. But the play sand was so bright because it's that like really bright tan play sand. So then I was like doing a bunch of spraying with the airbrush and doing a bunch of like different dry brushing and some texturing, and now I've got it to kind of like a dark muddyish kind of sand coloring. I'll have to show you. I'll show you up there, but I think I've got it where I want it. Right. So then all I have to do is I want to do the eyes green. The green glow. I know Illidan's got the bandana, but the headband. But I think I'm just gonna let his eyes show through, and then yeah, I'll be done. I'm super happy with how this tattoo's turned out. I was hoping, or I was worried that was gonna do bad, but I just pulled up like a reference. I found like a reference image I liked, and then I posted a picture about it today. I took like a pencil and just kind of lightly drew and shaded in the tattoos on him, on the body. And then I took after I did that, and I was like, oh, I can barely see that. So then I took a white colored pencil and just outlined the edges, and then went in and did the painting, where I painted the all of it black, and then kind of went brighter and brighter with the green and narrower and narrower to kind of give it that glow. So let's see what else I got here. I got Mike to come play BattleTech.
Oh, yeah?
And this is how the game turned out, which is both of us knocked over dead with our sheets just completely filled in and destroyed.
Like, so much damage on the body.
You can't see this, but there are 6 other people on this map.
Oh, wow.
They were having their own game because as soon as it started, Mike's over on one side, I'm on a nearby corner. He just runs straight at me, and then we just start wailing on each other right then and there. Meanwhile, everybody else is just having this other battle. I don't even know who won that. Because it was just like he just ran straight for me and did that. I played a full up BattleTech game, which is like lance on lance. So we had like 4. So I had 4 mechs versus his 4 mechs. It was really funny because we've got the moon map up here that we played on. And one of the things I like about this is you can't really stand on one part and like wail on people over here because there's a lot of like hills in the middle.
I see. Yeah.
That block line of sight, unless you've got somebody that can see and that can like basically call shot.
Okay, they could. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'd park this guy here, and when they were all the way over there, I moved these guys up closer to where they could see it, and they would call the shot. They take a penalty on shooting, but you still gives you a chance to like bombard from the back. But there's a little canyonway right here, and this is how he started moving up. So I had an awesome and an archer, and I just plocked those 2 right here where there's cover on both sides. And every turn he kept winning initiative or losing initiative, which means he has to move first.
Okay.
And so what it meant was he just kept marching closer and closer. Every time it'd come to me, I just pushed the die over on a 6, which means I'm not moving. And he'd be like, I hate you. God, stop it. And then he'd be like, no, but seriously, I'd probably just do the same thing. But that's annoying. Stop doing that. I hate this game. But fundamentally, I think we called it a draw, but I fundamentally killed 2 mechs.
Okay.
And he totally annihilated one. Because the guy got knocked unconscious from a headshot and then took a whole bunch of damage, so he couldn't do the piloting check, so he fell over. So he was knocked unconscious for a round, which means he couldn't attack.
Okay.
So then he got like free hits, so he got a whole bunch of damage, then fell over. The guy was going to kick me with his Atlas, but I had everybody else just unload everything, like forget heat, just send it all. Yep. He took enough damage, he had to roll. He failed his piloting skill check, so he fell down as well. So I was like, sweet, my awesome won't die. However, I forgot, when your guy falls over, he takes damage from the fall.
Oh.
When I rolled criticals on both, or no. Because I had taken so much damage to my armor, when I fell, the damage was hitting straight on internals, meaning I had to roll for crit chances. I had 2 crit chances I had to roll. Both of them I rolled above 10, which means both of those 2 crit hand chances, I got 2 criticals each. And then so all of them onto the center chest, which is where your engine is. And if you get 3 engine hits, you explode or you're dead.
Yeah.
I rolled 3 engine hits and then like something like a heat sink or something like that, which is funny because there's a random one-off rule that it's an optional rule that if you get 4 crit engine hits in the same turn, your mech explodes and can deal damage to other people. Hardly ever happens, but it almost happened. And like we were rolling them, and when we got to the 3rd one, we're like, "Oh, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen?" Nope. It was just like a heat sink.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's. Oh yeah, that was then that was just this past week. So, all right. But now I'm gonna let Phil talk some.
Yeah.
So the other thing we've done recently, we've been playing Star Wars.
Yeah.
But before we did that, we had this Mamma Jamma. We had Spelljammer.
That was a fun game.
So, Philip, you want to tell them? Give the synopsis of what the of our Spelljammer adventure.
Our Spelljammer adventure. Well, I mean, first of all, just lots of shenanigans.
Yeah.
All the time. Anytime, you know, your DM tries to like keep the railroad.
But that's just
path,
any game.
and that's really any game. We derailed that train so many times.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
So we started
So
off
much-
on
we started
like
off in
the Forbidden Realms.
Yep.
And basically they get attacked by these things called astral elves, who are basically blowing up your planet, and you got to figure out how to stop them. That's the big how to. Yeah. So
the astral elves are the big bad.
light of Xarxus. That is the adventure that comes in this box set here. I don't even know
It
how
almost
much.
reminded me of because the way they said the planet was being destroyed, the Eternals.
It did. Yep. It was very
when
much
the thing was
Eternals.
coming out of the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to go stop the astral elves.
Yep.
By going into space.
Yep.
Which, I mean, that was
It's D&D in space.
in space. Yeah, that was fun times being on. Being on ships that can traverse that void.
Yep.
With their gravity planes and their air bubbles.
And that's where, like, you find there's a whole bunch of like its own weird magical physics. So there's a book in here called the Astral Adventures Guide that tells you all about the like, oh, this is how gravity works in space on ships and stuff and that sort of thing. And then you come across like a whole bunch of creatures. So that's where the last book in here. Aside from there's a DM screen, but then you get the bestiary, which is the Boo's Astral Menagerie, which is Boo is that tiny little hamster.
Boo is the hamster.
Yeah, this is Minsk. That's Boo, which they're from the stories. Like they were in like Baldur's Gate and stuff.
They're in Baldur's Gate. Yeah.
Yeah, but Boo is a miniature giant space hamster.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So he's normal hamster size, but he's just a miniature giant.
He's from that Conan O'Brien sketch.
Oh.
The iPad Micro Maxi.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just the size of an iPad.
Yeah. So you get 3 books in the box, the Spelljammer box set. All enough for you to run a campaign.
Yeah.
And it's only like was it 11, 12 adventures?
Yeah.
So it's not like the other campaign books where, it could be like a year time. We played it with breaks in probably like 4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months, yeah. It was.
And again, that wasn't playing every weekend.
Yeah, it ran fast. It was a fun adventure.
Yeah, because there was a couple of encounter or like chapters or whatever that got mushed together.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't. We did a couple in one night.
And what did we started at 5 and ended at 12?
Did we get that? I don't think we got that high.
Maybe just 10?
I think it was like 8 or 9.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It was not that much leveling,
Yeah.
I don't think. does it say on
I remember
here?
we started decently. We started.
Yeah, Adventures of Characters levels 5 to 8.
Oh, 5 to 8. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, I don't remember leveling up that much because I didn't get all the really
cool
cool
artificer
really
stuff you
cool
want?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So of course Phil played a barbarian, and I played the artificer.
A barbarian of the same noble line.
I play a Warforged artificer, so I was like basically just a robot.
Yep. Chris is a robot.
I kind of got
with a-
wore. I kind of
with a
got wore
squirrel.
out, at least in the role playing aspects towards the end, just because when I made him, it was like the first time I like focused in and made like I'm gonna power game the crap out of this, especially for Chris because he's always messing up our games with that kind of stuff. And so this is the first time I was like optimizing. Like I had a 20 AC,
Yep.
so like you got to roll above a 20 to be able to hit me, and all of this, and so it was like I just meta the crap out of that. But then what it meant was I was a little lackluster on the role playing aspect where he'd be like, oh, what do you say? And I'm like, I don't know what I would say in this circumstance.
I'm a robot. I'm quiet.
Yeah. And then Corey and Jimmy would want to like do a lot more like planning and stuff. And like, let's just get to the fight part. Cause that's
Yeah.
where I'm strongest. Let me be the wall.
Which is how I play a lot of my characters.
Yeah.
It's I don't want to talk. I want to shoot things in the face.
Yeah. Although my favorite thing was the quirk kind of because Chris made us do like what's something that like quirk thing that your character does or has that nobody else knows about. And mine was, as I said, that there's a squirrel that lives in one of my compartments.
Yep.
And it ended
Comes
up
out randomly.
yeah, it just ended up being like the greatest thing. Like when Corey went flying off the ship, I had like the squirrel have like a catapult on my arm, so it like launched with like a rope
Yep.
to like grab her. So yeah, good times. Definitely, if you want like a twist, if you want a little bit of sci-fi, science fantasy, there's a lot of like. Especially if you want to fight a bunch of like weird and goofy monsters.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of giant weird and goofy monsters.
That was some of the best parts. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole like what was the thing that ate me and spit me back out?
I don't remember.
It-
But then there was that solar dragon that we almost fought.
Oh yep.
We got lucky out of that.
We did.
There
get
was
lucky
the big like bigger version of me where there was like the giant robot thing that kept healing itself.
well, which Chris then later admitted to us. He's like, "Yeah, you guys were just killing it too quickly." So I had to keep it alive for a few rounds. That was, yeah, God, we were doing some damage.
Yeah.
That was fun times.
So, of all the games you've played, how does this rank?
I don't know. It's about in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean the first D&D, the Tyranny of Dragons line,
Yeah.
like I liked it.
Yeah.
Like we got to we
You never
started-
forget your first.
You never forget your first. We started at level 1 and we got up to 15 is where we stopped.
It's 14, 15,
14,
yeah.
15, yeah. So like we did a lot of leveling and learning about characters and all that kind of stuff. Or at least I did.
Yeah.
So like I liked that. I do kind of wish we would have gotten a little higher in level in this stuff.
Yeah.
Just because like there's like, oh yeah, I'm shooting for this goal which is level 11. The game stops at level 8. Well, shit.
Well, I mean, technically we could still
Oh yeah.
play
like, you
those
can all-
characters. It's just that's where the adventure ends. But there are one-offs and stuff we could bring back if we wanted to bring back those characters.
Yeah. Mhm.
But
I
also,
can't. Mine's dead.
oh, did yours die?
That's
right. You always end up
That's
sacrificing
another
yours.
thing with the Althorn line. They sacrifice themselves for their friends.
Oh yeah.
To save the world.
Well, maybe they'll have to go find you and bring you back.
Find my spirit in the nether realms.
The nether realms.
Well, you gotta watch out because great grandpa Althorn, he's still kicking the shit out of Tiamat.
Yeah, but that's on the astral plane, I think.
That is on the astral plane. Yep.
So like when we were traveling through the sea, we could have like passed
Whatever rock Tiamat and
Althorn are just spending eternity fighting on. Because you don't age.
That's right.
So I'm assuming you don't die either. So you're just fighting back and forth.
Just like all right, time out. Let's take a break. We'll start over tomorrow.
Damamu, I've come to bargain. So, but yeah, that's like ideally this. I mean, these books are thin. These aren't like your full D&D books. They're quick and easy reads. And like I went through and read them. Everything that was pretty much, and even the Astro Adventures Guide, everything that's in here was pretty much what Chris had taught us on like our first game of it. So it's not like everybody needs to. Only the DM really needs to read this book to kind of make sure he understands the how everything works and can explain it to everybody. But yeah, then it's set up. There's stuff in here that we didn't encounter. In fact, they have a trait in here where it's if there's a you can turn any terrestrial creature into a wild space dwelling variant by giving it the following trait, if nothing else. Unusual nature. This creature doesn't require air.
Oh, okay.
So
Does Boo require air?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know if they said. I didn't look. There's space. The space hamsters are in here. I just haven't looked at them.
If they require air or not.
Yeah, I didn't look detailed enough into that. So yeah, Astro Adventures Guide. You know, that all comes in the Spelljammer box set, which I probably should have looked up how much it costs. Oh, jeebus. They got the Beetle and Grimm's, which is like the blinged out version, is $500.
Sheesh.
But looks like
$50 on D&D Beyond.
Well, on D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, $50 retail price. You can get it on Amazon $40. That's a steal actually for the amount of stuff you get in here. That's
$3 in a DM screen.
Yeah. That's a steal right there. And then yeah, if you get the there's a special edition version, which is what I gave to her. He was at the 200 show, so he got it as part of that, but it was also what got him to then
run the module.
The module. So it's kind of like a hey, thanks for DMing us. Here's this thing that you're not going to be tempted to run for us again. So which helped for the reviews for the show.
It's for the show.
It's for the show. So, speaking of the show, I think this is where we call it quits.
Yeah, it sounds about good there.
As we start talking about like after show stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like last time where we talked about BattleTech pods and how we want to make our own and that sort of thing. So, that's right, I have to do it.
That's right. You gotta hit the button there. That's been our show, everybody. If you like what we're doing, you gotta check us out while we're doing it. boardsandswords.com/live. That's got the links to all the streaming channels. It's got the schedule that we stick to when we feel like it. And it's got all the other great stuff that we have accomplished over the years.
Yes.
And I say great very loosely.
Send us feedback. We love it. I've gotten some great things recently. And I love it. Just like the getting the Boards and Swords comic. I cherish it very much. So send us feedback at boardsandswords.com. Find us on Facebook at Boards and Swords Pod or on Instagram at Boards and Swords Chris. Boardsandswords.com for links to everything like our Patreon. Check it out. Help support the show. And with that, we'll be back in 2 weeks with another show. In the meantime, remember that every gamer has a story. And that's not the jammer. Good night, everybody.
I bought that album.
Oh, did you?
iTunes, yeah.
Wait, which album?
The Dr. Horrible single.
Oh, right. If you're too young to know what that is, you need to go watch it.
Oh, okay. Just too young for you, bro. Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
All right. Good night, everybody.